Hey, are you guilty of something called resulting? I get this term from Annie Duke. I'm reading her book called Thinking in Bets. It's fantastic. Here's what she says, a professional poker player. She says that most humans, what we are guilty of is we do something called resulting, which means that we make a decision, and then if the decision turns out with a good result, we say that it was a good decision. And if the decision turns out with a bad result, we say it was a bad decision. The problem with that is what happens if you drive drunk? If you literally drive drunk and you get home safely, what if you use resulting as the basis to determine if the decision was good? Obviously, that is flawed thinking. Just because you get home safely driving drunk doesn't mean that it was a good decision. But we are guilty of this so many times in life and business, resulting. Here's another situation that will cause massive problems if we just base our lives on resulting. Imagine a baby, a toddler, who is learning how to walk. And as they're learning how to walk, they fall. You can imagine that if they are tied to the philosophy of resulting, they say, whoops, tried to walk and I failed, poor decision. And you can imagine that that baby would essentially never learn how to walk if it continually used resulting as the determining factor of whether something should be pursued or not. So for example, the baby walks and falls, walks and falls, walks and falls, walks and falls. Finally, the baby says, the result is when I walk, I fall and therefore fail and therefore don't achieve the goal. Therefore, I'm going to stop walking. We do that as adults. We do that as entrepreneurs. We do that all the time. We say, I'm going to make a decision, and then if the result turns out different than what we expect, we assume that we're flawed, that our decision-making ability is flawed, that we can't make the correct choices. When in reality, every poker player knows that life is oftentimes a series of choices. It's a series of odds, and sometimes even with the best odds in the world, you fall. In fact, Annie Duke uses the example of the Seattle Seahawks with the Super Bowl, where Pete Carroll chooses on the 1 yard line to go for a pass, and the pass is intercepted and the Patriots win, and everybody said that Pete Carroll, made a horrible choice, when in reality, the odds show that in the season, a 1 yard pass, it has much better odds than a run play. But the point is that because the result didn't do well, everyone said it was a wrong decision. Look, you got to decide in life, what's your determining factor? Are you going to trust your gut? Are you going to go with odds? Or are you going to base every decision, whether it was successful or not, based upon the result? And if so, you're going to start shaming and blaming a lot. So this is Kary Oberbrunner. I wanted to open up your mind today a little bit, tip my hat to Annie Duke with that book, but it's blowing my mind. And it's all about resulting. And let's be people today that choose to make the right decision. Even when we don't have all the facts at times, you still have to make a decision, because when you choose indecision, that's a decision as well. Indecision means you're choosing to stay exactly where you are, and most people are not happy with exactly where they are, and therefore, we need to make a decision in life sometimes. Be a soul on fire. Be the fire. We'll see you later.